We're back, baby.
We are back. The Seriously Show is back. 2026 episode 40.
The wind is howling like a tornado outside.
We are living in a freezer, an actual freezer. Today feels like temperature.
-7.
-7.
That's what mine says. What does yours say?
-2.
Either way, horrific.
Very rough out here.
I also just want to let you know that if you, at the end of this podcast recording, get up and like your pants are wet, I did wipe down the entire couch with a wet wash rag.
Why?
Because the static electricity that's coming out of this thing is unbelievable.
No, it is. What led you to using a wet rag?
I wanted to solve a problem for us.
How did you get to the solution?
I asked Ronald.
Who's Ronald?
My ChatGPT.
We will get to that later in the episode.
What's wrong with that?
Just teeing it up.
1 minute in, you're just teeing it up,
baby. Just teeing it up.
Well, we're on our official new schedule of these bi-weekly episodes. Mm-hmm. And we're still waiting until the last second to do it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We're adjusting to a schedule and a lot's happened. I think we should jump straight into it with the Traitors because that has been occupying a lot of our time.
Has it?
5 episodes out in 2 weeks is pretty intense.
Just been living rent-free in your brain.
Yeah.
I mean, January is brutal, especially when you live in Northeast Ohio. Like, the seasonal depression is at an all-time high. I'm not just saying this just to say this. The fact that they dropped the Traitors in the middle of winter, dead, cold, miserable January, it is like one of the highlights of my month, truly, which sounds insane, but it's true.
Totally. I remember when the first episode came out and I was expecting us to stop at 1 episode. And you were like, they've just dropped 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I was shocked. But now I realize, I guess with the winter, I don't know, but it's not cold everywhere.
I know. But I'm just saying for me personally, my
Right.
lived experience, it's just giving me a little glimmer of like hope in my life.
Right. And you being in the, I guess, TV, culture, news, content category, you had to watch those 3 ASAP.
5.
Well, then the following week was another 2.
Yeah. Well, now they're on the regular schedule of 1 episode per week.
They just wanted to get us hot and
they
engaged.
did. They did.
Whew. Where do we begin?
I mean, tell me from your perspective, Dave, like, why do you love the Traitors? Because, not that I have to love every show, but like I kind of do.
Right.
And that is, it makes like no bearing on how much I love it, because I do anyways. But like you, as somebody who does not have to watch reality TV for a living, you don't have to report on it. Like, why do you love the Traitors?
It's a very good question. And I think the simplest answer is just the layers. There's different characters from different TV shows. Mm-hmm. Then there is the voting out of amongst the cast, and then there is the murder aspect. So like there's a lot of different things that tie into the I don't know, just it's very difficult to explain because if I were to explain Traitors to somebody that's never seen it before, all I would say is you have to watch it.
Yeah.
You can't explain it in a simple sense of like, oh yeah, they're competing for money and at the end of every episode they vote somebody out.
Yeah.
Because it's so much deeper than that. And I also find it interesting how everybody tries to be friends, but then they realize like this is a game and we have to vote people out.
Right.
And then just things get cut loose at the round table.
Yeah, that's something that differentiates it from the rest, is that on all these other shows, you're like voting people off secretly in private. You're not doing it to their face and telling them why, like, I'm voting for you. So it just adds a whole extra layer of dramatics. But I mean, if we want to start at the very beginning, the 3 Traitors picks, I mean,
you lost your mind.
I don't know if I've ever been happier watching a moment of reality TV than when Alan picked Lisa Rinna, Candace Dillard Bassett, and of course, Rob Rausch.
Your first comment when Candace was picked was, oh, she's going to be a good traitor, because you told me how she doesn't stop talking and it gets her into trouble.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's been happening.
Yeah.
And then when he picked Rob, you physically had a response. You went like
he can't even do it right now because he would knock over all of our equipment.
Have you seen that gif of that kid eating like blue cotton candy in a game? And she's like, that is exactly what you did when he picked Rob as a traitor.
I would say even more than that. I was like fist pumping. I was laughing. And David was just
giddy. And I was stoked about it, but I was just so taken aback by your response that I was like, what? Are you okay? Like, what's going on here?
There was some genuine concern on your face. I was surprised that you weren't happier about it.
I was happy, but I was concerned about my wife. I thought maybe you were ill. And I had to, I don't know. I was scared I was going to have to resuscitate you at some point, if I'm completely honest.
I mean, the people that know us know that we love
deep
Rob.
Commentary there, honey. Real deep commentary there.
I'm saying, like, do you know how many DMs I got from people being like, I bet David is so happy that Rob is a traitor.
Stoked.
I bet that the overalls are already back out the closet, which they have not been, by the way.
Right.
And I had
They're
a similar
coming.
reaction.
I'm going to wear it today.
Just go put them on.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Over my jeans?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. You want to continue on a little bit of solo Traitors banter?
No, I'll just pause it for a second.
Okay, we'll be back.
In your undies.
On the screen. Flip me, honey.
Are you serious? Harley's going to lose it.
The t-shirt definitely gives it more of a farmer vibe.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is back.
He's back, baby.
See, don't you feel better now?
I do feel better. I felt like something was missing. You know what's weird is that I never wear blue jeans, but I did put on blue jeans before this.
See, it was your subconscious telling you to put Rob's overalls back on.
Rob was just in the back of my mind going, bro. And I'm sorry for not going full Rob without a t-shirt on underneath. But I've got like this winter skin tone right now that makes me look ill. So for my own sanity, I have kept, and your sanity, if you're watching this, I have kept the t-shirt on.
You look good in the Dickies, Dave.
Thanks. I mean, this is honestly one of the best Amazon purchases. What's up with Harley? Harley just put his hand on the mic.
Oh, gosh.
One of the best Amazon purchases I've ever made, if I'm honest.
And then when Rob came in the overalls to breakfast the next morning. Rob, are you trying to kill us, Rob Rausch? Like, I need to know if that is the goal, because it's working.
It's funny because what's the figure skater's name?
Johnny
was just like straight up on camera, like, I can't even. Rob is too hot.
Wait, you have to do the viral Rob pose. Have you seen it? Where he's got his hand behind his head, he's in the overalls, and he's like leaned back, legs sprawled out.
Like that?
No. Like,
I look like a potato farmer. He looks like a snake hunter.
Like, why? One hand like this. Should I just show it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He makes it look so much cooler than me.
Yeah, you just look like a 12-year-old.
I know, and the sad thing is I'm probably like 15 years older than him.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me find it.
While you're finding that, I just think what I find so interesting about Rob as a TV personality is that he is, to me, he doesn't seem calculated.
Yeah.
He's just like naturally entertaining.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe he knows exactly what he's doing, and I'm sure to an extent he's figuring out what works. But for the most part, it's just him blowing with the wind, really.
Here it is, folks.
Oh, that's on the Traitors. Wow, I need to go to the gym. My bicep has not got that energy right now.
The legs.
Let me see the legs. Oh, both legs are down.
Wider.
Jeez. I gotta readjust.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm like definitely a Timu Rob.
Okay, stop. It's making me a little bit uncomfortable.
I'm embarrassing myself a lot here right now.
Oh gosh, that was.
But
good.
I remember when he pulled out the overalls on Love Is Blind and
Love Island.
Love Island, and it was
a moment.
It was almost but it was almost like overdone on social media after that. I remember I even put them on, and blah,
you
blah,
did
blah,
it
blah.
first.
Yeah, we did do it first, didn't we?
Just saying.
But anyway, they're back, and we're like, whatever.
Gosh.
Very shocked I forgot to put them on before this. Where were we?
What else besides Rob on the Traitors? I mean, I know he lives rent free in my brain personally, but like, what else has stood out to you? Donna Kelsey, Miss Donna.
Yeah, Miss Donna was. I think the whole concept of a secret traitor was awesome. And none of us expected it to be Miss Donna.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say none of us.
I think a lot of people actually clocked it, except for us.
I think they edited that to make us think way less because the round table was convinced she was a traitor.
Yeah.
She got so many votes the night she got sent home.
Yeah.
But they were showing us clips of her being starstruck and softly spoken, and clearly that was her strategy, but we didn't see any sidebars with the other contestants being like, yeah, but this or that. So it just didn't enter our minds. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just been a great cast. I think it's going to be very interesting for them to top a season without celebrities, because apparently they're doing a non-celeb season.
I have got so many DMs of people being like, David should go on the Average Joe Traitors.
Well, I would be so bad.
He would be
I am the
so
most
bad.
Every time we watch Survivor, we think how bad I would be and how good you would be. You would struggle with the guilt.
Yeah.
But the overthinking, I would be pacing the hallways of Alan's castle, just being like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I would stand at the round table and I'd be like, so I'm a traitor, but I would slip up all the time.
Yeah, you would overthink a lot.
I wouldn't sleep. I would panic. I would drink too much caffeine. I'm getting heart palpitations thinking about it now. So I appreciate that, but...
You would be a good faithful.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I bet I could be a traitor.
Yeah, you would be a good traitor.
I feel like I love the gameplay aspect of it, but like you said, it's the guilt. Like if I was a faithful and I voted somebody out and sent them home, I would be so guilt stricken. Like I would feel so bad, which is why Colton Underwood confuses me so much, because, you know, he got somebody out in an aggressive manner. They weren't a traitor. And then, you know, 5 seconds later, he's like, I'm not changing my game style. Like, I'm going to go harder. And people are like, how? You know, like, I don't understand that.
Yeah. And then he wasn't locked on Michael until the argument at the table.
Yeah.
So now he's been correct in getting a well, incorrect, but everybody wanted him out anyway.
Right.
So nobody's noticing the fact that, because everybody just wanted Michael out for the sake of it.
Yeah. And trust me, in this household, we are team Ron through and through. And
I love Ron.
I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, like, people are just harping on him because he's not really connecting with anybody. But when you look at Ron getting out Portia, like, 3 solid pieces of evidence. Right. Portia got herself out. Ron didn't get Portia out.
Right.
But Colton coming after Tiffany, who was not a traitor, coming after Michael, who was not a traitor, and everybody's just like, oh, okay, Colton.
I wish I could think of some of the things that Ron says, but I just love how he has such a real life Cluedo energy.
Who's Cluedo?
You know, Cluedo, like a classic case of whodunit. Oh. He sits in his confessionals and he like has both his hands together and he's like, I don't know why they think I'm a traitor, but I'm going to show them anyway.
Yeah, I know.
He's just so, I just love it.
I just want them to lay
I think he's very sincere. And
I didn't like what he said to Dorinda
at
this last round table. Remember when she was like, I've tried to get to know you. I've asked about your family. And he said, I don't want you to know about my bleeping family or something along those lines. I was like, Ron, play nice. But I can also imagine if I were him and everybody was accusing me 24/7, I wouldn't want to play nice with these people either.
These people asking about my family. but I'm here to win the money.
Okay, final thoughts on the Traitors. Michael Rapaport. Tough watch.
Tough watch. Episode 1, I'm thinking to myself, that's just who he is. He's going to be entertaining. He's going to add some conflict. He's going to add drama. Episode 2, I'm like, bruh, tone it down.
Yeah.
Episode 3, 4, this guy is getting annoying.
Yeah.
Episode 5, you, me, the rest of the world, and the 1% out there who are massive Michael Rapaport fans are thinking to ourselves, get off the TV.
Yeah, this is not sustainable.
It got uncomfortable to watch. It turned the roundtables into nastiness.
Yeah.
Like pure nastiness and not let's work together. And if he was a traitor, I think it would make sense to be so aggressive. But as a faithful, I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
You were turning the majority of people against you.
Yeah.
And I just found it, I don't know, I found it uncomfortable to watch, and it just got a bit much.
And then the internet is pretty split on the comment to Colton. You know, some people saying, I totally think Michael meant it the way that Colton took it. And then other people saying, I don't think that he meant it like that. And they're saying Colton turned it into that, right? So, I mean, that's complicated. I will say that whenever I watched it, and David can attest to it, like it took me a second to understand what he said, but then I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Like, I can very easily see how Colton would take it that way, even if Michael Rapaport really didn't mean it that way. And I think that's the important part of it, you know, not whether or not it does matter if he meant it or not. But if he didn't and it still came across that way, that still matters.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think in that moment, the way Rob turned and was like, that was my reaction.
Right.
I was like, hang on a second.
Right.
And even if he didn't mean it like that, he should have had the awareness to know that the words he was using could have come across that way.
Yeah.
Michael did address it eventually. So I mean, I guess in Michael's defense, he claimed or accepted the words that he said and then apologized. But I just think he should have been aware enough in that moment to not use those words.
Well, I think Michael also knows himself, because it's like, how many times before that moment did Michael mention, I'm a smack talker, I just don't want to offend somebody? He said that on a couple different occasions before the instance with Colton happened, which tells me he's got in trouble with that before, right? Where he's just like you said, he's from New York, he's a smack talker, and I just hope I don't offend somebody. That tells me that you have done that in the past, and you know that like you can cross the line when you get in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and he offended me too, because when he got voted out, the amount of times he said, you're gonna vote out.
You just voted out
the smartest, the most iconic, the dopest. I was like, bro, are you 16?
Yeah, and you have Rob Rausch in his overalls. Like, definitely not the hottest.
The stopest, the smartest. Just get out. Just claim it.
Yeah.
Get out. Speaking of Michael Rapaport, I did have a funny encounter with him in Las Vegas.
You did?
In 2023 at BravoCon. We were actually speaking with Tom Sandoval's people in a hotel room where you were going to be recording your episode of Morgan's Pub Talks. And Tom was using the same equipment as you afterwards. So I had to leave the hotel, and on my way out, I started walking downstairs with Tom Sandoval's people. And he was going to pick up Michael Rapaport to be a guest on his show in the same hotel room. So I just decided to go down with him. We're chatting, talking about BravoCon.
You're talking with Michael Rapaport?
No, I'm talking to Tom's assistant manager, who's on his way to collect him in the lobby. So I go downstairs.
Collect him.
Pick him up. I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Meet him up in the lobby. And Michael Rapaport is sitting in the lobby. We get out of the elevator, walk up to him. I say my goodbyes to him, and as I'm saying goodbye, Michael Rapaport is saying hello, and I'm like, do I introduce myself? Do I not? So I just panicked, said goodbye to Tom's manager, and walked away.
You didn't say anything? And
I mean, he had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
He barely made eye contact, not in a rude way, but more of like my exchange with Tom's manager was ending and that exchange was beginning. So I just exited the situation. And as someone who knew nothing about Michael Rapaport outside of his acting career and Atypical, because we were huge Atypical fans on Netflix, I was like pretty starstruck because I felt like I was seeing the dad in Atypical more than I was seeing Michael Rapaport.
Right.
Anyway, so that was my encounter with him. And then traitors be traitors.
There you have it. Okay, well, let's ask this. I convinced David to rewatch season 37 of Survivor because Survivor 50 is coming up. And season 37 has 3 returning players and my favorite player of all time in Christian Hubicki. So now that we're at the finale, Harley, be serious. We're at the finale of Survivor 37. So how is Survivor 37 comparing to the Traitors for you? Which one are you liking more?
That's a good question. I think the Traitors, because it's live, it's present, it's today. But season 37 of Survivor, I get it. I totally get it.
A goat season.
Full on goat season.
A must watch.
A must watch. So many good characters, cast members, and just way more interesting tribal councils, rewards, and the use of advantages. The length of the show was longer, so like there's a lot more drama. But the Traitors right now is just top of my TV watch list.
But you are enjoying 37.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to us watching the finale, which we'll probably do tonight.
Which we just got to, spoiler alert, I mean, if you haven't watched season 37 yet, but last night was a dagger in the heart because it was the episode that Christian went home, which you thought he was going to win.
I thought he was at least making top 3.
Yeah.
Like, guarantee. If you had told me he was going home before top 3, I would have been very surprised.
I would love to see Christian Hubicki on the Traitors. Could you imagine?
He would be very, very good because he would sit at the round table and be like, well, if you think about it, there are many factors influencing this decision. And I'm quite confident that if you are a traitor, you would not have said those things to me during today's challenge. But I must factor in the other sides of the equation. He would be good.
Hot take, I think he would be a great traitor.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good traitor because he would fake it.
Yes.
Very well.
And I mean, especially because we just watched the episode where he, saved himself and sent home his number one ally, Gabby. And it's just the way that she was trying to blindside him. He looks at her during the tribal council and he's like, I know what you're doing.
He's got that bone in him.
He does.
Yeah.
He's a gamer through and through. He's very, very likable. He's so smart. And he is a physical threat, which I know is like not the biggest deal in the Traitors, but he can like handle his own in physical competition as well. So
I agree. Get him on the Traitors after season 50.
Yeah.
So yeah, little season 50 teaser for us. Getting excited for that. I am looking forward to it. But I am worried that it's not going to live up to season 37. Especially with Mr. Beast coming in and all these other random things.
Yeah, that's not going over so well on social media.
I know.
The Billie Eilish idol.
And it's like, it's been filmed already. So like, what are they going to change?
Well, and I saw this interview where Jeff
Billie Eilish idol?
Yeah, something like that. Something Billie Eilish, I don't know.
Not Billy Idol.
No, Eilish. So I read in this interview where Jeff was saying something like that people had reached out to participate in season 50, like Mr. Beast, or because they're fans of the show, which I don't no. I feel like it has to be a combination of both.
Right. I mean,
but still,
duh, why wouldn't you want to be involved in a giant TV show?
Right. But make the game 39 days again, bring back loved ones visits, instead of, they're paying these people out the wazoo. Like, how much money do you think Mr. Beast is like, okay, I'm flying to Fiji. He's not going to do that for free, surely.
And it's all self-promotion.
Right.
He's a smart businessman. He's figuring out a way to get his brand out there.
Yeah.
And look at us talking about it right now.
Well, why is Harley absolutely going bonkers right now?
No, sorry if you can hear that. You probably can.
Okay, what else has been going on in our life? We went to Pittsburgh.
We did. We went to Carl Radke's book launch, Cake Eater. Is his new book, his debut book, and memoir, and it was a great time.
It was a great time.
Pretty casual, simple drive down from Cleveland. But the drive back sucked because it rained so hard.
It did. But David was really wanting to do the self-driving in the Tesla. He's like, let's take some road trips, which it was an enjoyable road trip, I would say.
Yeah, it was. The full self-driving in the Tesla gets a bit tricky when you have full-on torrential rain.
Yeah, and snow and all this other stuff.
But it was definitely a comfortable ride, and we got our first experience of supercharging, which...
It was pretty good, actually.
Felt like I was just filling up with gas.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Pittsburgh was great. You interviewed Carl on your show, Morgan's Pop Talks, and it was just a cool chat. Good to get to know Carl a little bit better as well. Because I've met him a few times, but a lot of it's been him in the ropes and us outside the ropes.
Yeah.
Being like, hey Carl, what's up? You got 2 seconds to chat. So you had a solid 90 minutes with him, just chatting about the book. Anything that stood out to you?
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I've met a number of Bravo celebrities. And like you said, these very short, quick interactions, in the DMs and whatever. Yeah. But what I will say is that out of everybody that I've met, Carl Radke is like one of the nicest and most humble and just down to earth Bravo celebrities that I've ever encountered. And even being able to hang out with his mom and his stepdad, Lou. Lou's like showing us Christmas photos of them and their Christmas jammies and all this stuff. Like, they're just good people.
Yeah, and he had a lot of fans in the line to get their book signed. And he made so much time for each person, chatting to them like one-on-one, that the line took a long time to get through. But he gives everybody equal amounts of attention, made the effort to head down to the podcast studio to record that interview after 3-4 hours of book signing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree. He's a super nice guy, and it's been great to get to know him more. And him and I obviously have similarities with our story and like overcoming addiction and things like that. So it's been good to connect with him on that level. And I said to him, books like this, I obsessed over these kind of books in my like early days of sobriety because I just wanted to read other people's stories. Yeah. And ultimately that's what led to me figuring it all out. And I know that his book is going to do the same for other people.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot in the interview, which is coming out on MPT the week before the Summer House premiere. So the January, I think it's 27th. But I am going to drop it on the Patreon early. So if you're a Patreon girly, you're going to get that interview soon. But so one of the most intriguing things that I found as like a reality TV watcher is, you think these people. Like, we have seen the ups and downs in Carl's life that have played out on the show, whether it be very public breakup. He lost his brother like during a season of filming Summer House. And you watch that season back and you're like, wow, Carl is so strong. He's handling it so well, which, to a certain extent he did, but in the book he talks about how bad it was behind the scenes that nobody knew about, right? Yeah. So it just, and I've always like inherently known this about shows that I watch and, reality TV people, is that even though you think you know them, like you really actually don't. And that is why I feel like you should always give them more grace than you want to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, totally.
You watch them be a little rowdy or do something bad on TV or whatever, but that's like 10% of what happened. And Carl's book just really like hit that point home for me.
Yeah. And if somebody is struggling in front of the camera, what's happening behind the scenes is probably 10 times worse,
Right.
So when someone's barely hanging on and like they're sort of putting up a front on camera, but they're making strange decisions, things are probably pretty bad behind the scenes. So it was, you said you were surprised at how honest and transparent he was in the book. I think there's a lot of memoirs out there that just regurgitate information that we already have on the internet.
Right.
And they just format it into a book. But this was different. It definitely got into lots of different layers, and highly recommend checking out the book. I believe it's on Audible and on Amazon and all the book buying places.
Yeah. So looking forward to that interview. We talked a lot about Summer House season 10.
Ooh, yeah.
We talked about Carl's involvement in this new spinoff. So that's going to be an MPT exclusive. So lots of really exciting things there.
Yeah, good job, honey. That was a fun trip.
Thank you.
So as we were preparing for this week's episode and us getting used to the fact that we have 2 weeks of content now, Morgan was like, oh, I got something that I want to talk about, but I don't know if I should give you the context. She's going to ruin it. Are we going to have enough time? So let me find out what this was all about.
Okay, it's just one word. And I'll say the word. And then you tell me what you think we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Babies.
Marty Supreme.
Well, we are going to talk about Marty Supreme, but no.
Just baby names. We talk about baby names like 3 times a day.
That is what I wanted to talk about.
Well, I don't understand what's so funny. Why is that such a surprise?
Okay, because,
we'll be walking, we'll be in the car talking about something completely different. And then she'll suddenly just be like, what about Jack Bobby as a name? And I'm like, okay, we weren't talking about that, but sure.
Okay, because I just feel like, we're getting to the point in our marriage where we're thinking about when to start our family. We're not doing it right now. And it's like, if you were to ask me at this very moment, like, I don't want to be pregnant and I don't want to have a baby right now, but like, I do want to name a baby. Like, is that weird?
No, people do it. People think about their baby names when they're teenagers.
But it's like, at what point am I not just going to want to name a baby and I'm going to actually want to like go through the process?
Well, maybe every time you think of a name that you like, we'll print it and stick it up on the wall and be like, nice, you got one.
Well, I feel like I do. I mean, I have a running list in my notes app. Every girl has a running list of baby names in their notes app. Every single one.
Yeah, so?
Do you?
No.
And you don't ever think about it?
I just rely on you to keep a record. Maybe just write a short list down, and when the baby can talk, they'll pick their name.
Yeah, sure. Great idea. But this is something else that has tripped me up lately. Mm-hmm. David and I have had this baby boy name like forever, for a long time.
It's also like faux pas to mention it, hey? So you can't even talk about the names that you're like wanting.
Yeah, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want any of y'all to take it. But I recently learned that this baby name that David and I have loved for a really long time has reached the top 10 most common.
According to who?
Babyboynames.com.
Yeah, but who's walking around being like, what's your baby's name? What's your baby's name? What's your baby's name? Sorry, that's top 10. That's top 2.
They do the research on it.
I mean, I guess there is what's it called? A census. Do you give your name for a census?
I don't know. But now that it's entered the top 10 list of most common baby names, I don't want to use it anymore. And David could care less.
I couldn't care less. If you like the name and it's something, it's different if a name reminds you of something or is connected to something in your past or anything that there's a moment where you're like, nah, not that. So anytime you give me a name and something comes up immediately, I just cancel it without even giving a thought. However, if there is a name that you like and immediately gets you lit up and you're like, oh, that's a great name, I don't care if it's on some list from TikTok user Joey Bob.
What if your baby
22.
goes to kindergarten and there's 5 other baby names that's the same?
Then you call him Baby B, Baby A, Baby C.
How does that not bother you? Like, I want it to be unique. I want it to be like...
Well, if you want it to be unique, then you got to call it like Applebee Tree or
Texas
something.
Roadhouse.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I just think there's like on Survivor when they have multiple people. On Traitors they did it this year. Rob C and Rob.
Okay, on Survivor
R.
they have multiple people. They call it Blue Sophie and Yellow Sophie. Our baby's gonna be Blue Sophie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what will be will be.
I really struggle with that.
I get that it's tough. I'm not downplaying that for you. It's your baby's name. You don't want to name your baby and then regret it or want to change it. I get it.
Which, like, also a crazy thing to think about. Like, how many people do you think are out there that name their baby something and like 10 years later, like, wow, I really wish I didn't name my baby that?
I mean, nickname.
It's a big decision to make for the rest of somebody's life.
I mean, how do you think my parents felt? For like 5 years of my life, I was Harry. I was known as Harry.
But
nowhere
not
in my
of your
documentation
parents.
is the word Harry. Yeah, but like how offensive is that people just disregarded my chosen given name?
I don't know. We'd have to phone your parents about that. See what they think.
Yeah, I guess they'll know how that felt. But I mean, it was actually pretty funny. I remember my dad starting to call me Harry. So
okay, well, let's wrap it up with the Seriously Award, which I guess like does have something to do with babies, kind of. We went to Marty Supreme, and it begins with the little birth of a baby, and like.
Oh right, yeah. If you haven't seen Marty Supreme, there is a baby theme in it. I don't want to give any spoilers. I mean, it's pretty much the whole. That's what the movie's about. Essentially,
it's not about the baby.
I mean,
it's not about a baby.
No, it's not about a baby, but
we've totally missed the point of Marty Supreme. Because the movie is about identity,
yes,
and self-worth, and then legacy.
Yes, I agree with that, but I also believe it is about a significant life event changing your perspective on life. And the life event for him was a baby.
We interpret that ending very differently, because I think that he's like coming to grips with the fact that like all the applause was for what?
I agree with that.
But you said it was more about him finding like a new purpose in life.
Yes, but also the fact that the applause and the pursuit of happiness for him has always been about what he was trying to achieve in table tennis, when in fact the thing that was giving him purpose was there all along. Obviously it hadn't been born yet, but the time frame of the movie is pretty much 9 months, right?
Yeah.
Conception to birth. And he kept turning his attention away from that until he set eyes upon that baby. Well, we're ruining the movie now, so sorry. But that's how I saw it. Clip it, ask people's opinion.
Okay, but the Seriously Award is...
The Seriously Award is Morgan's obsession with ChatGPT.
I'm not obsessed.
And I understand.
Stop, this is controversial. People don't like AI, and I'm going to get...
I am as bad as anybody else. I've turned from Google into an AI searcher. AI answers my questions. I get it. But if I'm sitting in a new theater release of a blockbuster film as highly recommended as Marty Supreme, I am not asking ChatGPT medical advice in the cinema. I am just not.
Listen, if you were sitting in the cinema and your leg was going numb and you thought you maybe had a blood clot that is extremely serious, you would probably be searching, trying to figure out if you're having a blood clot in the middle of Marty Supreme.
I get it, but that's not the first time you've asked about that.
But wait, we need to recount the situation, because
I'm getting there.
Okay, go.
So we're like halfway through the movie at this point, and things get pretty crazy in the movie. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I see her on her phone. First of all, how rude.
I was on my phone one time throughout the whole movie.
One time too many.
The movie is 2.5 hours long.
I don't care. You should not disrespect the theater experience by going on your phone. You had your phone out, and my first thought is, who on earth is she texting at this point? One, I am with you, so you should not texting me. And two, rude. But I look over, and what do I see is the little ChatGPT logo in the corner, and she's chatting away with her little digital boyfriend, Ronald. And I'm thinking to myself, she is not asking a plot questions about Marty Supreme, because if she is, I would actually lose it.
Okay, wait, I do need to confess.
Oh, you did? That's how it started? There you go. Tell me that's not rude.
All I asked was if it was a true story. Because they...
To be fair, confession. To be fair, I did not pull out my phone during the movie, but when that one scene happened,
yes,
where things got a bit chaotic,
yes,
I did think to myself, thought this was a true movie, starting to doubt that.
If that's when I asked the question.
Fair enough. But now my ChatGPT is not this algorithmic rabbit hole that leads me to other questions about life.
Okay, but that happened,
Ronald,
and then I started...
Is Marty Supreme a true story? Also, I've got a blood clot in my thigh. While watching Marty Supreme. Is it related? Should I be worried about that?
Okay,
I'm going numb. I'm passing out. Ronald, help me.
I wanted to know if it was a true story, and then I started losing feeling in my foot. So I just asked while I had it out.
Maybe it was because of the giant popcorn and M&Ms and 3-liter Coke that we were drinking.
No, it's been happening for like a couple weeks now.
Concern, agreed, warranted. We will go to the doctor. We will get it checked out. However,
no, God forbid I ask any questions. God forbid I ask one single health-related question to make sure that something serious is not going on.
Well, make a little health project on your ChatGPT app.
Nope, I will not do it. I will not do it.
You know that ChatGPT is going to be linking up with your Apple Health data if you give it permission. So it'll tell you even things that you don't know about yourself.
Well,
that's scary.
I'm not asking
Seriously, award of the week is Morgan using ChatGPT in the middle of a movie.
The good news is that ChatGPT does not think I have a blood clot.
Great news. That is great news.
All right, we got to get you out of these overalls, Dave.
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit sweaty in here. Thanks for listening, everybody. Episode 40. We hit another 10 milestone. That's 4 10.
Hey, we've come a long way since episode 19.
We have.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Remember they said something like 97% of podcasts don't
97.
Episode 19.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, leave a review.
Please.
At The Seriously Show on Instagram. We will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.
Bye.